In fall of 2022, I arrived to my college campus for the first time for my freshman year, and I had absolutely no idea what was going to happen. Right? Over the next 6 months, I would go down a path, taking myself from an absolute loser, basically. I was overweight, binge eating while playing video games. I was just an absolute mess of a person. And I took myself and transformed myself into an active, hardworking, and responsible man. And this is something that should be a goal for everybody, right? Nobody should have a problem with being active, hardworking, and responsible. These are traits that will benefit you in every way. But this transformation was only possible, thankfully, through the process that I'm about to tell you. Real quickly, before I get into the real meat of this video, I just want to say that I started a free community on Skool. You don't have to pay any money. You don't have to do anything except just join the community for people who want to build their focus. If you're struggling with focus and productivity, I made a free community over there. I'm making courses for it, and I'm going to be actively communicating with everybody in there. So I would love to start that community and see it grow. And if you want to, if not, feel free to join. Links in the description. I was in a bad mindset when I first got to college, and I had been in this mindset a majority of high school, and a lot of people are in a version of this mindset, and you probably have been at some point in your life where I wanted everything to come to me, right? And I thought that I deserved these things, and I just simply didn't. That's when I had a realization that I was getting what I deserved, and I always have been getting what I deserved. Let me explain this. Everybody gets what they deserve, right? I got what I deserve because I had put myself in that exact position. I was overweight because I repeatedly allowed myself to binge eat. I was binge eating because I was repeatedly playing video games the second I got home from school, and I was bored and had nothing else to do but to eat and fill my time. And I had no girls, was talking to nobody because I made it my routine to go home, play video games, and eat. All my problems were a result of me doing these actions, and I got what I deserved out of these actions. I didn't deserve to get girls. I didn't deserve to be in shape. I didn't deserve to be learning anything or growing any sort of business because I wasn't putting myself into those positions. I put myself in the position and set myself up for failure. This is what I mean when I say you get what you deserve. And you have to remember this, right? I do not mean that you deserved random tragic accidents that happen to you, right? These random things from outside of your control. But you deserve your own personal situation, right? You deserve everything that's in your control, your health, a majority of your wealth, especially decisions that you make of where to put your wealth, what you're spending it on, and your mindset and the actions that you take towards changing your situation, right? All of that is under your control, and you deserve the results of whatever actions that you take. This is the first step to transforming yourself in 6 months. And if you want to transform yourself the same way I did, you have to realize that you are going to get what you deserve. So you have to act in accordance with what you want, right? You have to act so that you actually get what you want, because you will get what you deserve either way. It does not matter what action you take, you're going to get what you deserve out of that, out of those choices. So act in a way where you actually get what you want. When I realized this, I realized in addition that I had to make a choice. I had to choose between continuing setting myself up for failure or to do something about it and to make a change. And most people avoid these choices. Most people avoid change like the plague, man. People hate change. And I hope that you're not one of those people. If you're on this video, I guarantee that you're further ahead than 90% of people, because most people don't even want to change. They don't even think about it. But unless the change is quick and easy, most people are not going to go for it. So this change is not easy, but it's relatively quick, right? If you can commit to making this change, you can change your entire life in 6 months, right? and then free yourself up on a new trajectory for the next 50, 60 years. Right? This is a much worthwhile investment, right? A lot of return. So make the decision to become the best version of yourself, right? I decided that it was time to make change and that I would eat differently. I would take care of my health. I would start learning more. I would start learning about business, learning about how to just conduct myself, learning about my social skills, what I could do to be a better person and a more valuable person, and just learning about the world. And when I did this, then I realized that it was actually time for me to start committing real time to do some focused work. And this is where the routine started to develop. Initially, this only started with schoolwork because I was a freshman in college and I wasn't thinking further ahead or in the bigger picture yet. My mind just wasn't at that point. I was just trying to be at least an A student, right? That's not really that hard to do if you actually just put your mind to it and commit to it. So I figured that that is the first thing that I'm going to try and do. And this is where my deep work routine really started to take shape. And I use this routine even today, except it's just geared towards different tasks and different activities, but I still use this routine. My deep work routine is super simple. I schedule in and spend 2-hour blocks that were planned out the night before. And within these 2-hour blocks, I have specific tasks for each of them that I know that I need to get done at a bare minimum in that time. And then in between, I have at least a 30-minute rest, right? That there is not going to be a time in my day where I'm working 2 hours, taking a 5-minute break, and then working 2 more hours, right? I really think that the 30-minute rest is good for avoiding burnout and just giving you some time to mentally digest what you just did so that you can gear up the energy to go back into it. So at first, I did this with schoolwork and it was super simple. I had multiple assignments that were all related to math, so I would spend 2 hours on that. And then my next 2-hour block that was scheduled in would be on all my finance related work. And that worked amazingly because 2 hours is very good an amount of time to actually get your brain into a focused mode and work state where the time kind of flies by once you're just kind of delving into it and you get into that mode. But it's not too long to burn you out, like I said. And then depending on the day, it was 30 minutes minimum. You can do an hour, you can do 2 hours in between. It all depends on your personal schedule. But the key thing here is that you're planning it out the night before and you're planning out what you're actually doing in these blocks the night before. When you do this, not only does it just reinforce what you have to do tomorrow, it reinforces the goals that you're working towards. Because right now, right when I schedule these things out, it's scheduling for my work, my business, my career, my YouTube. And by having that always repetitively driven into my head, my goals and the work that I need to do, it makes it super easy to just not even really have a second thought. And I can just jump into doing the work, know what I have to do. And if I forget something or I get a little lost, all I have to do is look back at my planner because it's written right in front of my face. Literally, just this one change of scheduling in these 2-hour blocks in my day and letting my friends know that I was going to be occupied or working at the time was all it took to transform me from lazy, fat, overweight, and out of shape to a hard worker. Because with this, I scheduled in the gym, and you can schedule in all your interests around this and make your day full, fulfilling, and fun. And the more you do this, the more used to it you're going to get, the more energy you're going to have. And then eventually, you probably will be able to work up to those 4-hour work blocks. Like I am able to work 4 hours pretty solidly straight nowadays. Not when I started. But I can do that without burning out now. But I still would not push it past 4 hours. Right? Even if you're highly ambitious, 4 hours, give yourself a break. Because you're just going to exhaust your brain and it's not going to have the time to recoup just from sleep. Now, when you make that schedule for your day the night before, it's really impossible to have an excuse, which is a lot of people's problems for actually getting deep work done and taking that step, right? I bet right now that your problem a lot of the time is that you end up procrastinating or you have some reason that came up of why you can't do either as much work as you wanted to or do the work at all. When if you just scheduled it out, made your schedule somewhat known to the people around you, only if you had a conflict or whatever, that you would not be able to make an excuse and you would just be able to go and do your work, get it done. 9 times out of 10, way more consistently than you were before. Because I know for myself, even when I started this, I was making tons of excuses before I actually decided to write it down. Right? When I write it down and have it in front of my face, it's impossible to make an excuse because I cleared my schedule for this. I knew my schedule ahead of time. I know what I have to do, and it's here. Doing this makes it literally impossible to ignore, impossible to make an excuse. And if you have a procrastination issue, this will solve a large portion of your procrastination if it's actually something you're passionate about and want to pursue. Right? You can't do this if you don't want to do it at all. Right? If you have no drive to actually do the work and make the change and get out of your situation, if your situation's not bad enough to make you want to change, then it's not going to happen. You're just not going to make the change if you don't want it bad enough. But when you have this written out and you want it bad enough, you will never make an excuse. You will do the work, especially when you need it done the most. Do this every single day and every night, and you will see a dramatic change in how effectively you use your time, how much work you can get done, and the quality of work that you get done each and every day, because it's just going to build and stack over time. So do this consistently every single day. At least try it for a week. And this will allow you to just have dedicated time that you keep to work and dedicated time that you keep to friends, passions, interests outside of work, right? Not everything has to be work related, but scheduling this in makes it almost impossible to not get real quality good work done every single day. If you're someone like me who struggled a lot with procrastination and being able to actually do focused work and just build up that work ethic, and you want to actually make a change, either for you, your business, your family, whatever your big goals are, and if helping create that focused level of work would really change your life, then schedule a one-on-one call with me in the first link in the description. I will help you personally with your situation, figure out what you're doing wrong, what you can be doing right, and what you should implement to help you out, because I've been through that. I know what it's like to be a chronic procrastinator. I know what it's like to not want to do the work and have it in front of you. And I know what it's like to have big goals and to actually pursue them. So if you want help in this area, click that link. Follow me on Twitter if you aren't already. I just started posting on Twitter. I'm going to be posting there every single day. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you did. And as always, stay blessed.